What is going on, U2 world? That's Steve. That's Vinny. I'm Dave. I guess we're the trio of the Insert Revolution podcast. I guess we are. It's the three amigos, as it were. And we have an important announcement tonight. All of our content will be on this channel from here on out. Everything we do. Everything we do.
Hold up.
Shower videos.
Since when?
Since 1 minute ago.
Why wasn't I part of that conversation?
You were. You just weren't paying attention.
Oh, okay. That's probably true. Hashtag facts.
What's going on, Yannick? Jeff? Saw Robert earlier and Tyrone. Yeah, I'm the late one again. Stunning, I know. I gave the synopsis to the boys, and so it's been a busy day, a busy fucking every minute. So we're gonna try to go for 90 minutes tonight. It's gonna be a hard line on my part because now Monday through Saturday I'm waking up usually 3:30 at the latest. So and I'm not getting out of work till, if I'm lucky, 2. So 4 to 2 is usually Saturday. It's earlier because I'm going to see Trista. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You guys can figure it out. But put 4 or 5 of your brains together, and maybe you'll get half a brain. So, but it's draining, again, to say the least. And then softball, that's next week is the last full week. So tomorrow games here, which is nice without travel. So, but yeah. How's your guys' week been so far?
Crap. I won't go into a diatribe.
What?
Because I honestly, I could probably go on longer than you. Honestly. But I'll refrain. The only thing I will say, the joys of being an international company and a lot of people that you interact with because it's in the middle of summer, to find out that they're off for 3 weeks because, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
In Switzerland, Sweden, the UK, France, Germany. Yeah. So it makes things interesting. Yes, Bob, crap week. It's only Tuesday. Mine has spilled in over from last week. So, crap has a tendency to do that. In liquid form. Vinny? And you got to do better than the 2 thumbs up because I at least said something else other than that.
I'll make it a clear synopsis. Just start barking at me fiercely. That's my week in ghost form language. So, but it is what it is. It's Tuesday night. All that stuff washes away for a couple hours. Go from there. Exactly.
This is true. And I'll go ahead and say it. I feel like an ass only because I do. I'm bad enough with names and other things, and dates is one of those. But I'm pretty sure somebody on this group here had or is about to have a birthday. Not to name any names or anything, Vinny. So, couldn't remember if it's today, yesterday, because I know it wasn't when we were on the phone because your gift was early.
No, it was
when we were on the phone.
Struck at midnight. I was born 11:59, so about 24 hours after we talked. That was it.
All right. So everybody wish Vinny a happy birthday.
Thank you.
I already know what he got from the better half. I happened to be on the phone when she spoiled it. The only downside is he hasn't gotten it yet. So what we're hoping is that he gets it in time for a show when he can actually open it and unveil it to all of us, and we can all share in the excitement, because it's freaking badass. It's freaking badass. And I won't spoil it. I refuse to say anything. I just so happened that Vinny and I were on the phone, and better half wanted to share it
as usual.
And I'm like, so she sent it to me via text. So I'm like, oh. And then all of a sudden I hear her in the background. It's like, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Miss Impatient. And I'm like, oh, you're doing this tonight. Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting off the phone.
I'd enjoy a trip to Chuck E. Cheese if only for the pizza.
Yes. I wouldn't play anything but eat in the corner.
So, and Dave, you'll actually appreciate this. So I mentioned last week, vacation in August, starting the 15th. We'll be in Florida for 2 weeks. I'm working on meeting up with Bobby on Tuesday night. So we're about an hour away from him. So we've already started texting back and forth and everything else. So hopefully everything works out. But I'll actually get to meet Bobby for the first time in, 12 years. Do what?
Dad, we're going to be near you?
No. I'm only going for one person.
I'm just
only for one person.
Just thinking.
So Ty's got a sponsor this evening. I know Vinny's got a sponsor. We haven't talked about sponsors in a while, but it's pretty much a given these days. I'm always having a beverage of some kind.
No.
Hey, I gotta find ways to tolerate you.
Yes, I said it. Sure.
So my kid is choking. I'm not sure why.
Because of you.
Why?
You made me laugh.
What did I say?
You have to find some way to tolerate them.
Oh, yeah, well.
No, just me.
You tried to kill me.
Depends on who you ask, in what day and what time, Please do not get him all riled up in here.
Stop it.
Charlie, get down.
He slapped. Ah!
Anyways, go ahead, Dave.
I know Vinny's gift as well because I made the rare call. The only 2 times I think I've called him have been at a major nationwide retailer. So I wanted to confirm because, again, you guys are light years ahead of that stuff. Got product for a future episode. I was lucky enough to stumble across some and had the money. Not that I wanted to spend it, but I'm like, I got to make up for stuff coming my way. So this trade-off is pretty solid. I asked about one thing first, and well, that's about $15 cheaper online, online. And then the other stuff, it's like, wow, yeah, that's a good score there. And so okay, well, we got that set. So
yeah, and no spoilers, folks. No spoilers.
None. So that it's the rare time. We say it all the time. It's so rare that we come across anything that isn't. I saw Series 2, and I was tempted with that, but I'm like, no, I just the other stuff is stuff that we need to pipe in, and but yeah, Wild Card, the Bowman University or whatever.
Well,
the same stuff you see. It's nothing different. Just here's a Wild Card mega box. Here's a wild card blaster. No, I don't need. If that stuff was the only stuff out and it had logos, if it was collegiate based, the press pass used to be, okay,
Maybe.
I'll think about it. But when you have airbrushed red team against airbrushed blue team, no, that's fuck off. Kmart even had logos on their uniforms.
Yes.
Whatever. I just so
Well, in Series 2 hockey is up for conversation for future episodes, but a certain person on this panel who will remain nameless, Vinny, may or may not have already gotten some in the event that we want to look at that as an option. So we are covered for Series 2, Upper Deck Series 2 hockey if we want to do it in a future episode, if we choose to do that. Joe, FYI, offer will be extended to you as well, since you want to be a part of Series 1 whenever we can actually find the time for all of us to get together and do that. Bob, you know the invitation is open as well.
And anyone else.
I was getting ready to throw that. It's like, and for anybody else who wants to join, just make sure you come with what we are breaking. And 99% of what we have been breaking is blasters. So
yeah,
if you stumble across it and you want to be a part of it, awesome. Let us know. We'll make sure that we, bring you into the conversation from a scheduling perspective. We all know we missed last month. Although I give Vinny crap about it, there was a lot of stuff that happened last month. And so it's one of those in which we all kind of had a feeling that may slip anyways. So we'll end up doing 2 episodes this month, I think. Now we just got to figure out best time for everybody and start working on that. So
yeah.
Vinny, you had something to add, sir?
Nope.
Yeah, you couldn't retort too much because I didn't really bust your chops too much because I love you. You know I love you. And, if I stop picking on you, that's when there should be a concern. So just reiterating that for future reference.
Understood.
So scholarship. What is scholarship? Anyways, go ahead, Dave.
Well, yeah, tonight's episode, it's going to be rudimentary to most of us that are here. Sometimes it's a good refresher course. Somebody stumbles across it and may benefit them. That's what we always look for. Somebody comes across us, oh, I wasn't aware of that, or that's something I could use in like a daily or whenever you happen to send stuff out, or trying to figure out what certain cards are. This won't be like the Easter egg episode where it's stuff where you just don't know. It's like, well, I didn't have a clue about that. This is stuff where you know it's out there. You've heard plenty of folks say it. I don't think I've got anything near me, or even if I've got one in the collection, it might be an Abreu from Update like 13. But like the Topps SPs, that's something that it came about. The gourmet guy had bought two jumbos, I think, or no, he bought 2 regulars from Grand Slam sports cards out of, I think, Murfreesboro, somewhere over that way. Nate, and he's like, I don't even know what the hell I'm looking for SPs. He's like, I didn't even know until I started looking on eBay that there's a Bobby Witt Jr., a Torkelson, and a Julio Rodriguez. Okay, I didn't either because I haven't looked at anything Series 2 related from baseball side of anything. And he's like, I wouldn't even know where to look at or start to look. I said, oh, we can parlay that into something else that's been not a thorn in my side, but this the SP stuff isn't a thorn, but the other one is with the shipping.
So,
And I know with you too.
oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. So Vinny and I were actually chatting about Series 2. Whenever that was, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My days are running together. Whatever day was your birthday, Vinny? Maybe I need to drink more. Maybe I'll do better at remembering. Probably not. But we were talking about short prints and what the draw to Series 2 potentially was, because a lot of the opinions that are out there is Series 2 is lacking in the rookie crop. And I don't disagree with that assessment, but let's be real. If Series 2 is lacking, then Update is probably going to be filled.
Yep.
And Update normally doesn't do as well as like Series 1 or potentially Series 2 would. Yep. So Topps is being smart about it, but we're not going to get in the debate of rookie cards, true rookie cards, or anything along those lines. But when I think of things and realizing and finding out that like Julio Rodriguez, who is an all-star, by the way, folks, that's a big deal, is a short print. How can that be considered a rookie? And then we're going to add this guy, who I wasn't expecting. What's going on, Michael?
Not a lot. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Tired.
How you're always tired, Dave. Let's not like speak, given information where
I'm not telling it the skills out of school.
Yeah. Thank goodness we're all sitting down for that, that just but for something when I think of like rookies, true rookies, to me a short print is not a rookie. When it comes to a variation, that is.
Yeah.
It's one thing if it's serial numbered, that type of stuff in a set, because rookies are serial numbered and the top tier rookies are lower serial numbered than the others. Okay, I get it. That makes sense. They've been doing that for a while now. But to have a SP variation, because he's not in the set.
No.
Julio Rodriguez is not in Series 2. By the checklist. The only way you get him is if you happen to pull the SP variation. So how can that be a rookie card? Maybe I'm just thinking outside and I'm crazy or whatever, but truth be told, I think Update will actually have what I would think his true rookie card, but we'll see. But and keep me honest, because I'm not a big baseball guy. I know. Glad everybody's sitting down. But from a short print perspective, typically, at least over past releases, they've just been like photo variations. I know like some of your veterans that they put in a later set is also an SP. But do those cards, and I wish Bob was actually here as Michael yawns.
I apologize.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
It made both my eyes water.
If the veterans that are short prints in a top set, do those actually like replace a normal number within the set? So if it's like 220, but 220 variation is Ken Griffey Jr., let's say. Is that how it is, at least when it comes to actual, well, I'll call them player variations?
I have no idea.
I want to say, and again, I could be 100% wrong. Of course, I got the football one there. I think the basketball, but it would be like, let's say, you'd have, say, John Lackey. You'd have a John Lackey card as card number, whatever, 220.
Okay.
Then let's say he won't have a variation unless you go back about 10 years and they had the sparkle variation because they had some stuff off like the hat or the belt buckle or the glove because of Josh Johnson, lucky enough in that I think 2011 had that. But those again weren't like released. That was sort of like it was the Easter egg, but then became the SP because it wasn't announced. But then quickly people are like, well, what the hell's Brandon Phillips got that going on? Or whoever, there's about 40, probably 30, 40 players that had that. But let's say it's a solid veteran, but you're not like a Mike Trout. You're not most likely Mike Trout's going to have his own variation. He'll have just like whatever. And a lot of times it looks like the base card could be the variation, like the home run he robbed in Baltimore several years ago. I know was on one of the Topps cards, and it's like, well, that's the variation. It's got to be. Well, no. You start seeing boxes being ripped. It's like every box has that. I'm like, okay, that's not the variation. You have pie face.
I had one because I pulled one from 2021 of Javier Baez, and it's just a photo variation for him.
Yep.
But I know like all the veterans, like the retired veterans, are considered short prints in the various sets. But if they go ahead, Michael.
I was going to say, and the veterans that are SPs also have other SPs, triple SPs based off the same card. And it's and I believe the way you tell the difference in baseball, it's the serial number on the back, correct?
Yep.
Is it the last two or last three digits?
I think 2.
Yeah.
So if it's like 2026, and okay, that's your Fernando Vina card.
Mm-hmm.
2024, it's like, okay, that's some version of the variation.
Yeah.
Depending on whatever it is. And I mean, you could have a Soto that's a batting, a Soto fielding, a Soto interacting with the crowd, a Soto celebration at the Gatorade ones a few years ago as well.
Yep.
It's
bat
like
down,
bat up, no bat. Almost like the Billy Ripken, or it used to be like, I wouldn't say it's an error card because it's not, but it has the feel of an error card. Like, oh, here's a reverse negative Dale Murphy. Well, here's the corrected version, but that's not an SP. That's just an error. SPs are manufactured to be in packs or whatever and available for the public, but it's a tiered system where I don't mind it, but a lot of them have gotten to the point where if you have like 4 or 5 SPs for a card, it's like, I'm not going to drop, let's say, a collected Wander Franco. I wouldn't drop $1,000 just to have whatever 4 or 5 SPs he's got.
Yeah.
Just so I can have the run of them. I mean, it's a base card with a variation. A cool one for the logo or the mascot for Tampa, but I'm like,
that's a goofy card.
I'd rather have just the mascot as a whole on there. And if you're going to have him as whatever, Winifred or Manfred or whatever the hell the mascot's name is.
Just leave the mascot cards in opening day like you always had before. Just leave them there. I don't want – I would be upset if I pulled a Wander Franco and I see the back of it. I'm like, oh, cool, I got his rookie card. And I flip it over and it's the mascot.
Unless it's the fact that you could sell it for $1,000.
Well, that's a different point, though.
I get it, though.
Flip it for sure.
If you're wanting and you're hoping for Franco's rookie card, and you're like, "Sweet, I pulled one," and then there's a little bit of disappointment, but on the flip side, it's like, "Wow, I just found $1,000."
Yeah, but then it's some of the other ones, not necessarily Wander, but if there's another rookie you like that doesn't sell for $20 as a base card, but you just want the rookie card and you pull it, and then it's the goofy mascot that nobody's going to buy.
Yeah.
True.
Wander's just different because that's who everybody's chasing in that specific set. And I think it was it was 2018 with the Acuñas and the Sotos and all those guys, correct? Because I remember, because in Series 2, that's where or was it Update where you got the bat down Acuña? I think it was Update.
Yeah.
Don't
'cause
get
US
me to lying.
Yeah. Regardless, what I was getting at was getting back to the J-Rod situation, where is this really his rookie card? I don't think so, because they did the same thing with Gleyber Torres. You could only pull the SP. There was no base rookie card. There was just a short print.
Mhm.
And it was either Series 2 or Update, and it was a horizontal Gleyber card. It was it 2?
I think it was Series 2 because I think he had the rookie or whatever it was. I don't know if he had an All-Star and then it was like the rookie card
Mhm.
plus the debut in Series 2.
Yeah.
Or an update.
Update, right. Yeah.
They're
Yeah, I think-
overcomplicating the whole SP aspect
Of course they are.
when it comes to base tops.
Well,
'cause-
and
They've done it for a while.
Yep.
I mean, let's go back to 2007 with the Jeter that's got, who is it in the stands?
it's Mantle and George W. Bush.
So I mean, that was a big card, huge SP. And honestly, it's probably should have been considered an SSP, but
Right.
it's they've been doing these things, but for those they were more like Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Although they were tagged as short prints, they were more like Easter eggs. Now
they didn't announce it.
No.
Correct.
They didn't announce it was in there. People just found them.
Yes.
So now you have
Within a
you
week, you have a checklist of all with pictures of all the SPs.
and you could almost build a whole set just on SPs.
Yeah.
Literally. Like if Series 1 is 330, and I think that's right actually, you could almost have a set of short prints that is 330 cards.
Yeah.
And it would be completely different.
Yeah.
It's a little excessive, but that also should indicate to people that they are mass producing Topps Series 1, Series 2 to where there is so much out there they can do this, because short prints are I don't know what the odds are, but they're still tough. They are tough to pull.
Yeah, and didn't they didn't even put Bobby Witt in Series 2, did they? His rookie card is going to be an update as well, which makes no sense because he's been on the team since opening day.
Yep.
He should have been in Series 2.
It's like him, Torkelson, Hunter Green, and then Julio.
Yeah.
Those all should have been
They
Series
should have all
2.
been in Series 2. And I think I don't know if that's laziness by Topps or they just want to make sure that they sell update. I don't know.
I think it's a combo of both. Like, well, okay, you don't see them in 2, so people are like, but then somebody pulls one, they're like, what the hell is this? And it's like, well,
yeah,
it's probably an SP. If we watched 6 case breaks, nothing's come out. It's like when there's smoke, there's fire. They did it with Strasburg. They did it with Harper. You had, I don't know, 6, 8 variations of the, I don't know if it's 660 or 661.
Yeah.
You've had in 07, you had Java, I think, was on the Astros as well as an unannounced. And I think Boston. There's a couple different variations for his like Series 2 rookie, which at the time was the big rookie of that 2007 year.
Don't they have the Java from the Cleveland game with the bugs? I thought there was an SP of the Java Chamberlain with them midges. Isn't that what they were?
Yeah, that they could. I mean, and see, that's the thing. Over the years, I'm sure there's got to be get out your old computer paper and start printing off the checklist, because I'm sure there's got to be just a never-ending cornucopia of the fucking SPs and variations.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that,
one number might have one, like the Ricky Henderson. You might have, okay, it's, let's say Eric Chavez was playing. It's going to be the Eric Chavez card. You might have him for that. You might have him for whatever, Joey Gallo's card because he played for the Yankees. You might have him for
the Rangers.
Ryu for the Blue Jays because he played up there. I mean, anybody he played with, he could have one.
Yeah.
Or you could just put as one SP for each team for card number 300 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just gets to the point where it's like, it used to be, okay, you got 40 cards probably SP'd. You had Darren Erstad, well, here's, I don't know, whoever California Angel, Nolan Ryan. Here's a Nolan Ryan with an Angels uniform. He's the SP there. That's it.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, not 40 different variations of,
yeah.
Well, he's at the Chick-fil-A. Here he's going to Goodwill. Here he's paying his fucking health insurance. It's like, no, just, that's it. Just one. If you want to do something cool, do one just baseball type thing and do one, hey, there's Nolan Ryan talking to Tex Winter or Tex Avery, whoever had the Angels way back in the day. Talking to them, a candid shot where you don't see it. Okay, that's something different. I'll allow a couple, but just, it seems...
I have...
Go ahead,
Clay has 2 photo variations across the Topps products. 2013 Chrome, or 2013 Topps and 2013 Topps Chrome. He has a photo variation in there where the base card is the big sack celebration, arms in the air, and then the SP is him kneeling down with his helmet off, full faced. And they did that in 2013, and then 2015, the last year of Chrome, he has the base card sack and Cutler, and then the veteran photo variation is him jumping, doing a celebration from a Patriots game. So he got 2 of them. They just didn't really do very many in football.
No,
because they were usually the rookies.
Yeah. 2012. I know I think Andrew Luck had like 3 different photo variations. I don't
remember the count, but they normally did them on the rookies.
I think each one of the bigger rookies had the base card and in action SP photo variation, and then I know Andrew Luck had the rabbit's foot variation hanging off his belt.
And now, of course, they have, helmet off. Like Donruss even has photo variations.
Really?
And I think it all has to do with it's COVID related, but they're like they've got like their action shots like with their helmet, and then there's the variations where they have no helmets.
And they made the mask variation cards. I know they cashed in on that. Yeah, I think they just look for any reason to print more and give the breakers one more fake thing to get excited about.
This is true. And somebody who can really speak to this, nice shirt.
Farmer Stan, look at
that. You do more on the top side, and you've opened a ton of tops, and you've pulled SPs and SSPs. So, and this is more for clarification's sake, because we want to make sure that we're like passing true hashtag scholarship and not making assumptions. I know you've pulled like retired veteran short prints and super short prints.
I've pulled, I think, 2 super short prints in my day.
Okay. So let's say the regular base card is Paul O'Neill. Okay, I know Paul O'Neill. I don't think he plays anymore, but I'm just throwing it out there. In a Reds uniform. And they have a super short print of Ken Griffey in same set. Would they still have the same number if that happens to be?
Yeah, sometimes they do. Sometimes like just a random player, card number 250 will be that guy, and then the short print will be like just a Willie Mays or something. But it is the same number, yeah. As far as I know, it is.
And
all
all
it
I
would
was trying
replace
to
them.
all I was trying to like kind of reiterate is the fact that from what you have noticed and what you have experienced, that's how they normally do it.
And then they have the ultra short prints or the super short. Oh, wait. So what is it? There's like,
There's SP and then there's SSP.
but then there's like SSSPs.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
that. I think that was that Pete Alonso polar bear card.
Yeah.
That could be. I was just trying to get more clarification that, normal card 250 is X, but a short print could be anybody put into that set under that same number.
Yeah.
So it's not like they've recreated a number. It's the same numbering. It's just you look at two cards with the same
It's
number.
a variation.
X,
It's a
and
variation
one
of that card number.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm just taking a peek at it, Beckett, real quick to see if I can get more.
Well, and that was one of my issues. I was sitting here looking because I pulled a Baez photo variation from 2021, and it's like disappeared from my table. And I know that is specifically a photo variation because the regular card is in fact Javier Baez.
This isn't really helping me.
Well, because I don't think they word it very well because there is a difference between an SP and SSP and SSSSSSSSSP. Just like Bob and like photo variations and things along those lines, Lewis.
Yeah.
So I just they need to do a better job of differentiating and using the correct nomenclature so people can truly understand what they're looking at. And of course, Dave's also got the Beckett here.
Like they list it in a whole different section. Like here's tops 2018, and then there's 2018 tops base set photo variations. They almost like make it too.
Because like here it says tops, yeah, just what Bob said, photo variations. But then you have like the checklist all the way down here, and then up in here,
which is almost like the same count as the base set is concerned. So I wasn't far off when I said that.
No, because like let's see, 2020 tops. It's got 300 Baez jumping. Then it has, but it doesn't say like Baez. What's he doing for the SSP? It's something. Let's say the Ozzie Smith doing the old backflip on opening day. It's not there. Some of these are, like Stanton 368 SSP hugging. Luis Robert running. Luis Robert for another one. Sunglasses. Whatever, 392 for the regular set. There seems to be a lot. Oh, Luis Robert more, because then it's Bichette, Robert, and Alvarez, and that's the SSP. That's two grand. And then then it's got the Frank Thomas, the no name on front for Luis Robert. So that's got to be just like an impossible. And that's all.
So in other words, you're saying that there's an SSSSSSSSP.
There's probably like five S's is probably where it maxes out at. But I mean, it still says SSPS. It's like, no, there's got to be, I don't want to say a hierarchy, but I mean, there's got to be tiers of the SP. It's like whatever. I thought the old ones were like, what, 1 in 54. Somewhere in there where you got one every couple boxes, maybe, if you're lucky.
Right. And Josh, I mean, you bring up a good reference because Cardboard
Yeah.
Connection does. I mean, they do have a lot of good information when it comes
Absolutely.
to
Pictures
But-
and everything, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's still one of those which for us who have been collecting for as long as what we have, I mean, the 5 of us here probably have over 120 years of collecting experience, and that's a rough estimation. Probably pushing close to 150 years because I'm saying roughly 30 years between each of us.
Hmm.
Even for hobby veterans like us, it still complicates things because like in my mind, there's a difference between an SP, an SSP, and a photo variation.
Yeah.
Photo variation I get is a short print, but why not just call it a photo variation? Quit like interlocking those terms together to where it just can
It
add.
muddles it.
Yes, absolutely. Because you could go to one dealer and they could have it listed as an SSP, but you go to another dealer table on the same card, it says photo variation. Okay, well, which nomenclature is correct in that use of that card?
Which also makes it harder to search for on eBay.
Yep. So it just adds to the complexity. And Eric wants to know: Do you have a gun permit there, Bob?
A gun permit? Oh no, not in PA.
Well, since you got your guns out, that's why he was asking.
Oh, they're like toothpicks.
Oh, this is a good question. Before we get into our favorite topic of shipping.
Oh, yeah. Let me. It would be embarrassing for me. That's probably for sure. I would definitely have like either like a really like ticked off look on my face or something. Again, embarrassing myself, cross my eyes or something. I might try to recreate the Keith Comstock, shot to the nuts card. It is a good question.
How about Bob and a banana?
If I come up with something, I know I have an option of making, my own. What do they call them? Custom card, right? Topps does that pretty good. I could make like 50 of one, 10 of another, and then like 5 of whatever that image is. So these are all just ideas. So that will never probably happen. Just putting that out there too.
Bob and a banana hammock. And I do like Josh's. Chair would be the SSSSSSP.
Oh, I'd have my YouTube Hall of Fame patch on too, for sure.
The best.
Maybe it would be like a shot of me at the tattoo parlor getting that on my arm. YouTube, I'm open for ideas. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. This is our guy. Yeah. Cobra's at best. If I sit like this, I do look kind of, jacked. So I'm here to take notes, guys. I really don't have any helpful hints or tips. Just so you know.
I'll go back to this because I know.
I 100% don't know what the topic is tonight.
We're going.
Don't worry, neither do we.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do.
Sort of helpful hints in determining, hey, what at least if you have an SP, especially because that's Contenders as they went on through the years has had the same sort of thing. A lot of their stuff earlier was print run based.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just didn't know who was the short print. Julius Peppers the one year was to 50. Adam Carricker, I think early on was another guy that was like low. I was able to get like an Arthur Lynch, a D end, I think, for the Dolphins, cheap because nobody knew about it. and he's to like 30, 40, 50, somewhere in there. Now it's like a photo variation or some kind of celebration variation. Gatorade, we set up the pie face, the sparkles, and I mean it's just the old timey Western picture or whatever. It just trying to
Like,
figure that out. And then we'll get to shipping. We'll get to shipping hints because eBay's global shipping can fucking lick my taint.
that's a short print, which to me leaves a lot to be desired, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
they're not doing anything like, okay, he's posing for the camera, so okay, maybe. But like in the on deck circle, I like the holiday ones because they're kind of like goofy. He got a scarf on, you know? But like
Yeah.
this just looks like a regular card, you know, but in his real one, he's pitching again, he's like in his whatever you call it. Stand. I got 3 more. Alex Kirilloff. I got that from the update, and then this one from Series 2.
Yeah, like that. It's not even special.
Yeah,
It's like,
take the bag out.
I got my stuff. Wow, what a treat. Oh,
Didn't Contenders football? Didn't they make the variations? They just changed. One of them had the whole football helmet on the logo on there, and then others just had the logo.
yeah.
And one of those two was the variation.
Didn't they do like a vertical and a horizontal too? Like those were different.
Yeah, that was. I think that was Mahomes' year. I think 2017 was the. I feel like maybe that was the first time they did horizontal and vertical.
Yeah.
Which
And
is the more sought after?
Vertical. Yeah, horizontal is considered the not true rookie, and I think it's just because
It's a variation.
They just don't look as good as the vertical cards.
Yeah, horizontal is getting no love.
No.
Well, but by definition, horizontal is a variation of the original, so therefore it is a rookie year or a rookie parallel.
It just allowed them to print the print run twice.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's all that was.
Yeah.
Make more money. Produce more product, make more money.
Well, 2014 Contenders had at least two for every one of the rookies, and then I think the bigger guys even had like 3 different ones. They had facing left, facing right, facing head on, ball up, ball in 2 hands. It was another weird year. I like it where you just have one. That makes it easy.
Amen to that.
You can't make the money then.
I didn't hear what somebody just said.
You can't make the money if you only have one variation. You got to have 8 to chase for the team collectors, the player collectors, the set collectors. Well, is it a true set if you only have one?
Yeah, it's not a master.
Yeah, you can have the master set. Yeah, like Philip Dorsett has 3. Amari Cooper has 3. Kevin White even got 3. Gurley has 3. And this was the 15 or 14 contenders. Or 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Derek Carr having quite a few. And it would have been Manziel as well.
Arthur Lynch, that's who it was. Only 25 of them. I overstated the front line.
Yeah, because that used to be the thing that everybody would sit and wait on there for a few years, is sit and wait for the SP list to come out that Panini would release in different stages.
And a lot of the time, this was way back with the message boards. You had a handful of guys that would go after the set, so they'd buy a couple cases out of the gate.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, okay, let's pool out. It wasn't like, let's go to YouTube and figure out, or go to Instagram or TikTok and what's the video say? It's like, no, here's our break. This is what I'm finding. Didn't see any of this. Hey, what about you? Nope, I didn't see that either. What about you? I busted 10 cases. I haven't seen any. Okay, now we can start piecing together. You can't say a print run, but you can be like, okay, Rashad Hegman, he's got to be. I haven't seen any of them in 30 cases. That's a second round D tackle. That's got to be an SP.
Yep.
Just by default.
I made a lot of money off of a HaHa Clinton Dix variation. I bought it. I bought it on release day. Somebody had pulled it, and I mean, nobody thought about it being a short print one. And I bought it for like $20 or $30 and sold it for $300 like the next week, because everybody was speculating on. Well, none of these have been listed. This photo has not been shown anywhere, and somebody speculated and spent all that money on it, and it ended up being one out of. It was either out of 25 or 50 was the print run on it, but now that card isn't even a $10 card.
No, I don't want to say they don't hold their value, but you don't have as many people going after those sets like they used to.
Yeah,
that mid 2000s run, people were just clamoring. But again, it was, you knew that you were going to get, sort of like Prestige did with their old draft picks. So it's like Prestige cards are just trash. Let's SP 10 of them. Nobody knows. And it's like, oh shit, and it's not going to be Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Roethlisberger, everybody in that top 10, Fitzgerald on down. You're going to throw, hey, there's a Derek Anderson. I know it's the wrong rookie year, but Derek Anderson's in there. Gino Gaduli, Brandon Browner too. Well, and like people that did well in college, plus some of the top picks. So you made artificial value out of it because you just cut the print run on some of these guys. Yeah. And people wanted sets then, but again, different time. You can go and buy a box for $80, $50. You knew you weren't getting the best of the best when you bought Prestige. That was basically the collector's choice of playoff. I mean, it was a low end product for playoff. So, like, okay, I'll get it, but I have very limited expectations. Yeah, you might pull some patch out of like 10, but it wasn't like an absolute where you got that more plentifully, or the chances to pull something like that were more abundant.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they threw a lot of that stuff in there, and then people liked it, and then of course whenever somebody likes something, they fucking beat it to death. So to answer Joe's question quickly, though, I would have chased him hard because I'm stupid.
We got a question from Vinny before we start dipping into shipping tips.
I like with the ones with the puppies better. All the players had puppies. There was like
it was a pinnacle set
guys in there. I know Braden put one, had one. Ovechkin had one. I think those were cooler than the suits.
Doesn't Nolan have that? Somebody showed it on a video once. It's hilarious. I have a question for the group, but I know you got to get started on your thing. This happened to me today. I had said, like, how often do you see a card or a design or an insert that you've never seen before at this point in our collecting? So it was 98. I think 98 Flair basketball, or no, EX maybe, but it was something called like a Techniques or and I just had never seen it. It's a super rare insert or something. I'm figuring like when everybody's talking about the Buzzsaw one or the Noise Boys or the Duncan Go Nuts, I never heard anybody talk about that one, but it's a pretty pricey set. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can't say I can't say I know that one.
Let me just. If I tell you the real name, just give me a second.
But to answer that question, though, it was 2 podcasts ago when Dave was going all through all his Bledsoes and all different stuff. I saw several sets that I had never seen before.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's sort of like mind blowing. Like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Cards that are 30 years old that I had no idea existed.
I still see them every few months, at least from a Terrell Davis perspective, Bob. It's it's not like it was in 2020 where everything was like coming out of the woodwork and you were seeing stuff that you hadn't seen in years, like by the drove. So I don't take those into consideration just because that was a crazy time for the hobby. But even coming into this year, I mean, case in point, I hadn't seen this one. I've seen like pre and post productions. So this is the perfect fit red variation. It's serial numbered to 25. All the ones I'd seen before are not numbered. And what's interesting is Beckett doesn't have these notated as serial number. Well, if you do your research and you do a bunch of digging, the real ones are the ones numbered to 25. Those that are not are either replacements or like pre or post backdoor type stuff.
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen one of those in I couldn't tell you how long. I've seen the non-serial numbered. I've seen them a few times. And what I paid for that compared to what people were wanting for the backdoor ones, I'm like, yeah, I'll take that one all day long because I know that that's the legit copy. So
there was not.
It's not something Beckett feels it needs to be listed, so it's not in there.
I sent Bob a video the other day that came up, and it's the rare time that it's like something I wanted to watch because of something of interest. And I think it was a guy from Asia. I don't know. It sounded like a Philippine accent, but he was showing his like top Shaq inserts.
Like undervalued or kind of like, yeah.
Sort of like under the radar. It wasn't like you said, the Noise Boys, the what is it, the cut above out of EX.
Right.
The stuff everybody knows, the metal, the parallel of the metal, precious metal gem. And there was a couple in there, I'm like, I don't remember that. And this was like, I want to say like a 95, 96 Skybox Premium. I looked, I'm like, I don't know if I remember that. Because they were all about one every couple boxes, every
like
box,
36 to 54. I think that we're making.
Yeah, and there was an Ultra, like a 97, 8. Like I don't know if it was a Court King or what the hell it was, but it had a picture of him basically in the lane, but it was acetate. I'm like,
I don't have that one. And I saw that recently too. And I don't. What was that from?
That was like either 96.7 Ultra or 97.8 Ultra.
Ultra crushed it with the inserts.
Oh, they were game breakers there too. But just I'm like I hadn't. That's where I left off. I'm like I've got to start writing some of these down just to get like we prefaced many a time before. Get the worst guy. If Mookie Blaylock's in there, get a Mookie Blaylock. Get it in your collection. See if that's something you're going to spend $60 on a guy you like or collect. Because, yeah, he might show it off, or somebody else might show it off and might look good, but you don't want to make that initial purchase and be like, spent $100 on this, and I really am not digging it. And it might be you won't be able to move. Who knows? But yeah, that's it. It happened, like Steve said, I think more often than not, just because there was a lot of stuff out there, and yes, we were all pretty much neck deep in cards from I don't know, I'd say 93 to whatever 99 at least. But there's a lot of stuff that I didn't see until years later because it just wasn't around.
And
It just wasn't like, okay, let's go to Holiday. It's like whatever was here in Ely and sometimes down in Virginia, that's what I knew. I mean, you'd see the Beckett, you'd see the sports cards or the sports card trader or Top Stuff. You'd see all these magazines, pictures. But a lot of the time, it wasn't like a big, clear, crisp card-size picture of said insert, said parallel, whatever card. They just wanted to get the little picture and then sort of like make you squint and be like, what's going on here? And then buy the product to try to get it. But that just, I mean, if we could get that a catalog of every insert and have a copy, that would be
nuts.
an attainable goal, perhaps, but at the same time, just something where you could go and be like, hey, Steve, you've got this copy of whatever. Let's see what it's going for. What does it look like? Give me some tidbits about it, because I don't think a lot of folks out there have that deep catalog. They've got what's popular because of other people saying it's popular. The people that didn't collect back then, that don't know what was popular then. So, if that makes any sense.
Okay. But I'm gonna bow out early tonight, boys.
You're good, man.
Yeah. I'm hoping that
you were here.
Yeah. Well, I had forgotten that it was Tuesday, and then Dave sent me a link, and it popped up on my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, no shit. But I'm hoping next week I'll actually have a couple, 2-3 cards to show off if they don't get lost in the mail. I had to open a missing mail search inquiry on a card that I know is just lost. And it was $100 card that's gone. I'm not going to get it. But I have 2 cards that I'm really excited about coming in. Neither one of them are real expensive. One was $55 and one was $60. But they are super cool, and I'm really looking forward to getting them in. But hopefully I'll have them this weekend. So next Tuesday I should be around. And
well, I forget to send you the link only because we're all in a group message, like the 4 of us.
Yeah.
So it's one of those in which between Dave or myself, the link gets sent. And normally Dave's the one who sends it. I just so happen because.
Yeah. I mean, Dave sends it to me every week. It's just whether or not he was even sending it to me sometimes during bowling season, just in case I wasn't bowling.
Yep.
But
I'll make sure in future situations, if I end up sending the link, I'll make sure you get it though too.
No, that's fine.
So,
just don't add me to a group chat.
I'm not going to. I'll send it to you individually. No, I'll send it to you individually.
You hate text because your phone fucking sucks. I remember that with the pictures.
Yeah. Well, I have one from work because of a recall roster. Well, there are 17 or 19 people in the flight that I'm involved with. So anytime something gets sent out, there's that many replies to it, and I'm in it. My phone just goes ape shit. And I hate it, but I legally have to be in it because I would like to remove myself. But
I know you hate group messages. You've always hated group messages. I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, much appreciated.
I got you, man. I got you.
But you all have a good night, and I will talk to you later.
Take it easy, Michael.
Take it easy, Mike. Bye.
And then there were 4. Actually, I should say, and then there were 3 because Vinny's Acapado. Are changing chairs, Bob?
Yeah, just why not, right? This one, it looks comfortable.
Trying to jazz it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's more loungy for sure. Hey, here's Austin Meadows super short print running in a gray outfit in a gray uniform.
That's the one that you ended up winning it lying at the grocery store or something, wasn't
This is that one, yes.
it?
Wow,
See?
that's pretty good. So I bought that one recently, but when that set was released, you guys know Eric Oakland A's 915 or heard of him? The channel, good dude.
Yes.
Big
yes.
Mark McGuire guy. But he was doing what we were talking about with like the team sets, getting all the A's, super short prints and everything. So there was a Sunny Gray one that he passed on sort of, once upon when it was released, and like took him 5 years to find it again. You know what I mean? So his suggestion was when I saw it was a Gem Mint 10, and there was a raw one that was it was only like $20 less, So I went for that because I didn't want to be left out. Now I could probably get all of them that I want. Because Austin Meadows is just snake bit. It's okay.
He will.
All right,
He'll come back. He'll come back.
I'm going to the game on Saturday, so I'm hoping he's playing in Cleveland.
He's been. He had what, vertigo, and then a hamstring or Achilles or a quad or something that he.
Yeah, I think he even had COVID at one point too. Or maybe he was on the COVID like list without or with that. I think it was what was this, Achilles? What is that?
Etched in time out of Pacific Heads Up. I think 0203. Number to 85, and then again, this is one of those ones that we've talked about in the past episodes.
That Valiant or
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
And then again, it's like, why is it? But number 55. It's not like, oh my god!
Is that a silver? Is that just like one of the color variations that they actually numbered?
No, this is the set. It's the set that's called whatever, In Focus.
Oh, okay.
Up there, and it's just
Yeah,
55. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing that says like, and that's sort of what I asked when we had Jeff on. That's what I asked about. I'm like, okay, you've got these super like low numbered cards. It's like you really didn't do much with them. I mean, it's just like, hey, it's down. It's basically a generic. If you look at a pack, wow, this is a base card. That's it. It's like, wow. So I don't know. Those two, they'd come down to the price that I told myself, if they come down to this price, I've got to hit them, because it seems like all the other stuff keeps getting hit. So
What about parallels for inserts? Like the Pulsars comes to mind. Really want that gold Randy Moss, but it's pricey. Or like the Ultra Stars in Clear Ultra Basketball.
Are you talking about the Clear Brilliance Pulsars?
Yeah, right. Wasn't that didn't they have that insert set Pulsars or
Variation, because they had Clear Brilliance something, and then there was the variation, which was the Pulsar, I think.
like a shining star or whatever, and then the Pulsar shining star.
They're pretty. They're pretty.
One for you, Robert. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
I did. So somebody else suggested I should go for that just because I'm the Meadows guy, but I mean they're pretty pricey right now, right? Because they pulled them all or whatever. So only the ones that have been opened are are out there. I don't know, man. I don't really have. I mean, I like oddball stuff, but I wouldn't pay, out the wing wang for that card.
And now
Sorry for the harsh language.
I saw something that said they're offering a box of definitive plus like a replacement of equal value.
Yeah.
For the
So
card.
that's
$2,000 plus.
yeah. That's
How
a
did
big
that
deal.
happen? Like, how did that happen? Because really, it's the same sort of handwriting on both of them. I mean, I'm not even like a specialist or an expert in it, and like I can see that something just ain't right.
Yeah. It's basically the same person. Austin Meadows, Randy or Rosary. Okay, next one.
Yeah, Randy just does R.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hey, I have to roll here at 10 o'clock, which is a little past, but I want to show these because this is funny. Throwback to probably 1987. My first pair of wrestling shoes. I don't know if you can see that. And they had
Joe.
they had Sergeant. And that's Sergeant Slaughter. It looks like Sergeant Slaughter, but it's not. Like one of those sport flicks things. Velcro, baby. How about that? It's weird the things that you find when you look through your old basement boxes that your dad kept. So that's a winner. That gets a spot on the shelf for sure.
Vinny knows all about that. I've shared some things with Vinny from some stuff that my mom held on to. So
Nice.
Vinny can relate.
My wife calls me the king of the hoarders. So
We have a big community yard sale coming up in 2 weeks on the 23rd. We're going all out, man. Like our house is a wreck right now because we're just going through everything to kind of, declutter, minimize,
Well, good luck. Hope you
And
guys
make
do
some-
well.
make some quarters.
Yep.
Somebody's gonna barter with me for $1 on something that they want 50 cents. I'll give you 50 cents for it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
people are cheap.
no early birds. All right, fellas. I'll leave you go with this. Look at this thing. Pretty cool. I got you all. All right, guys.
All right, Bob. Take it easy, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk soon.
Later, Robert.
So Vinny, our favorite person, is asking if you had any hockey cards to show briefly, so we can touch on the shipping stuff real quick because we are coming up on the hour and a half mark. We got
I'll
17
show them
minutes.
3. So that's an OPG shadow box type deal. Got it cheap. Thought it was cool looking. It's like canvasy. That's the technical term.
Does it make etching noises?
No, thank Jesus. This makes stitching noises. So that's some solid stitching right there.
Yeah, I remember you showing us that one. That one's nice. That one's pretty.
And here's a banger. This is on my top 10 list for the year. So, number to 25. Prism green out of select 13-14. Number 8 of 25.
Too bad he wasn't in the same context for the uniform, the green uniform. That'd be a great setup.
Shut up. I knew. I just knew it because I was thinking it.
But second only to the Badger Bob uniform, this is my favorite setup. So we got it there.
I knew it. I just subconsciously, I'm like, here it comes from one of them. Which one's got to say it? Damn you, Dave.
Good job, David.
All right, 15 minutes to go over shipping tips.
So I've got some mail that I've acquired. The global
So
shipping is now
make yourself big, Dave, so people can see.
like the PWE. We'll see how they ship it, because a lot of this stuff is coming horrendously. I might as well throw out half the cards that come in. I know Steve's in the same boat, but here, this is how you'd ship. Again, tape on the tape or top loader, team bag, so the card doesn't come jutting out. Just a simple little note. That and again, a cheap ass card. Alexander Daig.
The only thing that would be better is if they used painter's tape, which everybody is. But
I don't mind masking, because most of the time
it still comes off.
I don't like Scotch tape, because then you fucking ruin it. I mean, you have to have the correct Scotch tape to actually, and the 7s flap, which is
if you'd use the 7 flaps, it will come off.
Most of it, unless you get the cheap shit. But if you do that, tab it on the top. That way, you've got something that you can just pull right off, and it's helpful. It's super helpful. Here's a bubble mailer.
Oh, so we're actually getting real live scholarship to see how people are shipping.
Because I wish I'd do this. I want to do this more, but I don't have the. Of course, now I'm gonna find a cutter, which I think is still in my shirt pocket, which isn't nearby. But see, they took like some sort of advertisement, but they've got the. Of course, this one's got the fucking.
They've taped the crap out of it.
The packing tape. Let's see, it's in there, and again, bubble mailer. So, but these took forever. Again, how's it going? How are you? And here's the. I don't know. I'd rather have it between a cardboard sandwich. That's okay, but this is the. They come in. The only thing I don't like. It's a 9-card lot, and you see 4 cards. So they've doubled up. Penny sleeves aren't expensive anymore. I mean, you can still get them $1 or so.
Is that Venegas?
Yep. But this was the one. even a terrible auto. I don't know if I've got this, because it stuck out to me right away. And a lot of his autos are streaky and like shitty in here, but the black. And it's not a refractor, it's just the black border. So it's a 25. So I'm like, I've waited for that one for a while. So that will quickly just check what he sent out. I don't know if you can see, but it's right over there. 6/21 is when he sent it out, and it finally got here. And again, just like a $4.
So just for clarification, it could have also been when he printed the label.
Could be.
That doesn't mean that's when it shipped. So, but that's a little. In that situation, you hope it's like a postal issue and not the fact that they printed the label and it took them a week to drop it in the mail and then another 10 days for it to get there.
Yeah, because that usually isn't good. I'm glad so far, knock on wood. There's another of the global shipping. Like I said, I hate it. And I know Steve does too. But again, this one took a while, but he had the paper around it, which again, it's better than nothing. But then you ruin the top load with your sticker. Your little whatever, you've got your address, basically your envelope sticker. What's going on, Eric? Again, a Mr. Momentum Favre 96 Ultra. So
We've seen worse.
yeah,
At least the examples that you've shown at least have the correct protection.
there's and I've said this and I've messaged sellers because you'll have $1 shipping and it'll be a patch card. And I say, if this is PWE, I won't be purchasing this because that patch window is going to get damaged. I know because I had the hell was it? A Amaro Ebron ASJ Safarian Jenkins patch out, I think.
Immaculate?
Immaculate, that. I mean, it's like he came down on price, so it was super cheap. It was like $8. But again, it's a nice card. Rookie year for them all, of course. Guess what? That thing, every fucking window's got a crease because he PWE'd it. It's a patch card. You cannot send patch cards through machine mail. They will get destroyed every time. Every single time. And there's been tons of that stuff that's happened. It's like a nice card. You're so excited, and it's creased to hell. So this guy, bubble mailer, is our friend Mr. Bubble Wrap. Should have done a 7 flap, but still not terrible to try to get that off the regular tape. But then he's put it into a
Bubble
pouch,
bag.
the pouch, and then cardboard to protect it there, and then painter's tape on both sides.
All
So-
top loaded in penny sleeved?
We will soon find out. But it looks that way, and even then, I like the fact that you do all the bubble or the painter's tape. But if you look at a couple, it's near the top. So I would suggest doing them individually if you got like a lot like this, because it just, you don't want to run the risk of actually, if somebody trying to find a reason to get money back, or I call it extortion because it's like, well, you know what, this came in a little dinged up. If you give me, like, let's say it's a $600 purchase, it wasn't. Give me 200 and we'll call it good. It's like, that's not how it works. But again, it's something where you don't want to take those risks. You want to, especially with a bigger purchase, you almost want to document it. I did that when I sold that stuff to Josh, BB Express. Not that I don't trust him at all. I trust him 100%, but it's just that type of purchase. I'm not used to sending out multiple thousands of dollars worth of stuff. So I'm like, okay, here's a
Right.
picture of this, here's a picture of that. Keep all your slips until the person has confirmed that they've got the stuff, your insurance, your tracking, whatever it is. It's saving your ass on your end, because otherwise, if you're dealing with somebody you don't know, that's where I'm always taking even more steps, because it's I don't know you. I don't know your history. You try to look for vouchers. You try to look for people that, like, hey, this guy's got this, but it's like, man, this card's right here. It's the TD 97 metal, a PMG red. He wants $450 for it. He's got a picture of him with the card, and I mean, it's like, oh. it's too good to be true, but at the same time, you try to take your precautions for that. So I'll show these just since I opened them. Pavelski to 250. It's down by his superscript of Jamie Benn. Yeah, it's either you return the items and get 100% refund or not. You're not getting partial shit. Travis Zajac. It's a superscript 25 there. Jake Muzzin, their superscript. Oh, we got OEL, the retro gold, 200. Casey Crawford super, 25. Charlie Coyle, the retro, 25. Jamie Benn again, the gold, 150. And then Mr. Getzlaff, who just retired, the gold to 100. If I told you what I paid for that, it'd be
Insulting.
it would be bad because it was under an old school hanger box price shipped. And then I had room for probably a pack or two of tops, allegedly. I mean, it was literally nothing. And I couldn't believe it. I just like, okay, I will take that. But then shipping with something like this, the big old almanac. This is a new one I got, the 07, which has all the Donruss score select inserts in there because that the one we've said to get it from Yankee Doodle, I think it's 09 and on or 2010 and on. I've wiped those away because you start getting more stuff. You can't have a book that's like put this and then add another quarter of this or half of this. You just can't. It won't work. So you got to cut something out. And us being the insert guys, I wish this seller had 3-4 more of these, so I could be like, hey, go get them. Because again, it's 07. It's fine. It's for me, it's fine. Just because we're looking for that stuff from '98, especially score wise and back.
Yep. It focuses on the years that you're interested in. So.
Yeah. I don't care about like an 08, whatever. I mean, I know what Josh Johnson shits out there.
Right.
It's not like he's got, like we mentioned earlier, 10 SPs out of tops or whatever. A couple variations, a couple parallels, and maybe there's a Walmart blue, Target red, whatever, maybe KB or Toys R Us purple. The Goodwill PSA 3. So, but
Vinny, you had some. Hold on one second. Do you have a couple things you wanted to show real quick? Vinny?
Yeah, because I just opened this out of a PWE that was in the mailbox. So, on these cards, if you could see on the back, that's square.
Yeah.
So, with these cards, you're going to get exactly what Dave said. So, on the picture, I just checked. So, we're going to show you. Let's see if we can bring this out. So right there by the Lemieux, there's a crease now, and there is a crease down there above the R in Jersey.
Yeah, that's the one that I saw originally.
I saw the one that's sort of between the penguin and
and
whatever
single.
the other word is up there. I can't even see what it says. Above Jersey, I can't even read. Above the jerseys part. I guess we're sort of like kitty corner from the upper deck logo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the first thing that stuck out to me when he first showed it.
So those weren't there when I bought it. I liked it because it was a 2-color patch. It wasn't tremendously expensive, but it came from the great far north. Which originally threw me off is look at the shoulder. It's like an off-white. And you're like, I wonder what that is. Right? But you look back, look at his shoulder. It's weird too. So it was just I've seen more and more of these CWEs, and this is how they end up, and it's aggravating because it's not the most expensive card in the world, but I'd like to have it in decent shape for the PC, but it's not too bad, but still. They're cracking down on stuff coming in PWE, and even these certain sellers are writing me, they're increasing the fees. Well, then make that in your price.
Yeah.
You charge $1.43 for shipping, or $4.98. Charge $7 and don't put it in the PWE.
Yeah.
Because the guy from Hit 'em High, who's a postmaster on IG, he said for like $8 you can get a nice bubble mailer, and bada bing, it's over here. I'd rather pay the $8 for this to get here, $8 Canadian, which is like $6, $5 US, without the creases, because now I kind of want another one of those cards, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've never understood that. It's like, well, it's a jersey card. Well, you know what? Just because you think, yeah, it's just a jersey card. That might have been either a card for your set. Let's say your dad passed away 2 weeks after that came out. You guys busted a couple boxes. That was your big hit going back to Pittsburgh days. So that's a card that you hold near and dear to you, and you just, hey, I haven't seen a 2-color. I want to get that because of that fact. When you assume something and you take shortcuts, that doesn't benefit anyone, because now you've left yourself vulnerable to negative feedback. And that'll be something with I showed these, and Vinny and I chatted about this when I got these boxes in. I mean, they came in a huge like a flat rate box, but I mean, it looks like they've been
No
rolling
packing.
around.
Yeah,
None.
no
Not a fucking single thing. He noted right away. He's like, "Hey man, the seller's got like 0 feedback, but it might be worth a chance or a shot." I'm like, "Yeah." Sent an offer. The guy took it, or he countered with something like reasonable enough, where I think there was like $22 after taxes for both boxes. You get auto in the box or whatever, each box. So I like, not that I'm going to open them yet, but at the same time, it's like, okay. And then when they came in, and I sent the screenshot to Brittany of like what I wrote to the guy, I just said basically in not so many words, if you're going to ship, it behoove you to put like packing peanuts, old newspaper, really crumple it up good so that the contents don't move around, or just bubble wrap the hell out of it so there's not a lot of shuffling, because these products came in, and I mean, they were loose. And the guy, when he was shocked his eye that the guy actually responded in kind, where it wasn't like, "Oh, fuck off, you're a prick, what, just go eat some more food, tons of fun." It's like, no, it's like, "Oh, thank you, that this is, I am new to selling. This is the first time I've ever sold anything." And it's like, okay. And he's like, "I will take your advice."
It's all about the approach. I mean, let's be reasonable. In a lot of situations, it's all about the approach and your word choice and everything else. But as we all know, there are people out there, which is why I never messaged the one guy about my 101 patch that was in a non-top loader and just a freaking sleeve and team bag thrown in a bubble mailer, because I still can't get past the fact that they would do something like that. especially since they posted it in a mag as their picture, which I said I expected to not get the mag. I expected that. But this person is not new to the person was not new to selling. And it's one of those in which I would probably be a grade A prick. And I just kind of left it alone. I didn't leave any feedback. So there's the right way and the wrong way, and there's still a lot of wrong way happening. Let's face it. But in the scheme of things, not that it makes it any better, Target ships like crap too. There is no packaging in anything that Target sends out, or GameStop, or any other major retailer. It's like they don't know how to. I almost want to go to these places and say, okay, I'm going to teach you how to ship. I was in shipping for a lot of years. I know how to ship. Sometimes I overprotect stuff, but I know it's going to make it there safe. You've received, flat rate boxes from me. Vinny has received flat rate boxes from me. That shit don't move. And that's what you want. You don't want it to move, because if it doesn't move, it can't get damaged unless somebody steps on it or crushes the corner or something else. And that is not always avoidable.
Yeah.
So, but on that, we were 6 minutes over, Dave. I was trying to hold us true to the hour and a half. So,
I would
Vinny,
just
I was going to ask if Vinny had any closing statements, and then kick it to you. There you go. So, Dave,
I would just say, if it's a sale, if you're making a trade, whatever the case may be, ship the product, whatever it may be, a vase, underwear, cards, a dildo, whatever it is, whatever you're shipping, ship it the way you'd want to receive something. Except the dildo, if you want lube on it, then just leave it
preferably
alone.
not used in that case.
Well, or well cleansed. I mean, residue could be troublesome.
Let's just go with not used.
Anyhow,
Anyway, it's always the case of, think of how you're doing something. If somebody did that for you, they sent a card in a fucking 16 by 20 bubble mailer, and they just said, "Oh, there it is in there." Common sense. It's simple to talk about, but my God, it's not prevalent in abundance anywhere, it seems. So, and then be careful too. Opening. I was gonna check, but I don't know if Chad Thundering 24 has all his videos still up. I know if he does, there was a Griffey that he ruined because he clipped the bubble mailer with the scissors, and somebody didn't secure the Griffey inside the top loader with. Even if you ruin the top loader, secure the fucking card.
He's still got 874 videos, so it's probably still up there.
We might at some point, if I look through and I remember, I'll post that in the comments below afterwards to go back and look, because I still remember that and just be like, oh no. And so then from like that point on, you thought about it. It wasn't like, oh my God, he's doing something that is brand new, but it's something that when you see it, you're like, now I'm going to start doing a lot of, I'm going to make sure I, like when you jam a card, not jam it, but when you take the card and you make sure it's down at the bottom of the top loader. Now I'm going to do that with the bubble mailer. I'm not going to sit there, and if it's going to be up here, wherever it's not more room, that's where I'm opening. If I'm tearing, I can't get in, I got a box cutter. That's what I'm doing and hoping for the best, because I've seen the worst. I don't want to have the worst and then flip out, because I know he's just like, oh, I just fucking ruined this card. I don't remember which one, but I remember it basically being, I think, half cut. I don't know, maybe a eighth of an inch, half an inch, somewhere in there down. It's just like, oh. So again, ship stuff the way you'd want stuff shipped to you. You don't want to see Amazon ship something fragile in a shoebox and just let it tumble around. So thank you all that stuck with us during this disjointed ramble. Thank you to Michael and Bob, Robert, and of course, Young Chair for joining in, giving their insight and input. Again, not the most glamorous of editions, obviously, but one that always needs to sort of be rehashed, especially now with that global shipping from eBay being indoctrinated the last, I don't even know how many months. I'd say 4 to 6 months, maybe beginning of the year. I don't know. But it's been going on for a little bit now, a few months, and once again, a detriment to the collecting community, because so many people are just looking at it as a cheap option to sort of recoup PayPal and eBay fees on shipping. When you put $5 for shipping, you have some sort of best offer, and you actually take a best offer, you can still make your money. So something to think about if you're putting stuff up on eBay. Don't sit there and chintz with the shipping unless you're ready to pay the piper, because people come knocking on that feedback, and they'll put in there like ships like shit, ships like crap, because I'm sure you can't swear on eBay, but horrible seller, PWE, ruined the card with negligence. And you see that, and it's like, well, you're gonna try to get that taken down. You're not, because of it. I have photographic evidence. I've got what the card looked like in the description, and I've got what I've got here, the end result. So that's all it usually takes, and they're not gonna rule in your favor. Probably 9 times out of 10. Sometimes it happens, but again, ship the way you want to ship to you. SPs, keep an eye on that low number on the tops. It's a long, probably a 14. It's almost like a VIN number of the card, I'd say. About 14, 16, maybe a little less, 12 digits. I think sometimes there's a couple letters tossed in there just for good measure, but check that out. Because if you look at Matthew Lecroy, Keith Folk, Mike Cameron, I don't know, Michael Lieberthal, you're not going to see those guys as SPs unless they did something amazing. Hypothetically, I can't even think of any current guys. But again, if you see Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, your superstars, or somebody that did something extraordinary, Carl Tuffy Rhodes hitting 4 home runs on opening day, those might have the SPs. Those are more prevalent. Rookies too. Again, if you got a bumper crop, you'll know the rookies. So
sometimes you can still prove that it's their fault, but you have to file the claim with USPS and hope that you get some sort of reimbursement. But at that point, you as the seller, regardless if it's their fault or not, you're required to reimburse. Unfortunately, that's where customer service comes into play, and that's in any business. We've had to reship stuff due to damage, due to carrier issue, in which we then had to file a claim with the carrier and get reimbursed that way. It sucks, but in the scheme of things, from a customer service perspective, regardless if it's the carrier fault, you're required. You're not required, but you should take it upon yourself to make it right for the customer, and then fight the battle with the carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you get photographic evidence and proof, and usually they can tell if it's dilapidated by a carrier. I mean, it's very easy to determine really who's at fault in that situation. USPS is probably a little bit harder to fight, but I know like UPS and FedEx, they're usually pretty good as long as you can prove it. And
Mm.
if there's a crushed, if you get a crushed box or it's got freaking holes in it, that's pretty good evidence that that's carrier issue. Oh no, Eric, it sucks. It 100% does. But you know, you hope to that those situations are limited. But at the same time, you know, it's one of those in which, like I said, from a customer service perspective, it's the right thing to do, although it hurts and it sucks. But I'm sure that there's some people out there that, you know, it's like, oh well, the carrier screwed that up. Fight it with the carrier, and it's like some of these sellers don't understand. It's not the recipient who usually has to file the claim. It's the shipper, because the shipper is who pays for the postage or the original shipping. Although the customer does pay for it, the seller is the initial purchaser. So typically the seller has to initiate the claim. But I'm sure there's douchebags out there that, well, I did what I was supposed to. That's on the carrier. You need to go fight that with them. Well, if anybody knew the rules of logistics and shipping and that type of stuff, they would know that that is not the right approach. But I digress.
Yeah, that could be another episode there.
It wouldn't be a full episode, but you know,
It'd be a chunk.
I've been in logistics long enough in shipping and receiving to know kind of the ins and outs and how some of that works and who really has ownership on certain things. But it hurts. It hurts. And you know, from my perspective, you know, where I work, sometimes you're talking thousands of dollars. We're not talking a few hundred. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars sometimes, in which equipment is damaged in in transit, and you have to reship it for free. So you're eating the cost of the equipment plus eating the cost of the freight, to then have to turn around and fight it with the carrier in order to get reimbursed for not just the freight cost, but the equipment cost, because they are responsible for it. That is, of course, if you pay for insurance, because like UPS and FedEx, I think their standard insurance is $100. That's included. Anything over that, you have to pay for.
Yeah.
USPS, if you don't insure it, you're screwed. End of conversation. So that's where the other stipulations kind of come into play. But I won't carry on too much more than that, since we're already over time. Yeah, okay. Sure you do, Eric.
Yeah.
If that's the case, you wouldn't be hanging out here and you wouldn't be hanging out with Carlos every Friday night. You'd be like
You'd
be at the club.
Saturday nights like front and center.
Yeah, you'd be hanging with the A team somewhere on a Friday night. Anyways, go ahead, Dave. Wrap us up.
So again, thank you guys all for coming in. Always a pleasure. Just getting the, like Vinny said before we came on, they're just nice to fucking not think for a couple hours. Again, just there's enough to think about in life that this helps us, this helps you, I'm hoping. So remember, like, comment, subscribe. Comment afterwards below if you're watching this in the archive. If there's something that we missed, something we fucked up, something, hey, good on you guys for this. I didn't know over there. I didn't know that. Okay. That way at least we I don't want to say we get like satisfaction out of knowing that, but it's always nice to know that if you learn something from us, hey, that's good. That's what we're here for. Hashtag scholarship. And so send money.
What you like, what you don't like. Any feedback is good feedback. Anything
Yeah.
we can do to be better.
Except the swearing or the Steve with his heaters or the beer. Or, it don't matter. That don't matter. We don't give a shit about that.
And I like my dogs more than you, so as I shoot fluff from my dog into the air.
So yeah, send us some money. Crypto wallet, we can double down in the near future. EMT, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, satchels of money. Not 20-year outdated checks or whatever, like 2042 or whatever. No, it's got to be this year at least. We'll take airline vouchers, hotel reservations for shows or whatever. I mean, even if we go to Idaho and Montana, those are where it's at. I think that's what I'm hearing. So that's what, if I'm putting my ear to the ground, that's where the shows are at that you want to be at. You can find those high-priced whatever cards you're finding. So whatever you want to do, you want to send us a birthday card, make sure you send money, because that's the first thing we do. Take it out and you open it up. Nothing falls out. I don't need to read the card. Sorry.
Wow, Dave.
So just saying. I'm saying what we're all thinking. It's happened many a time. As a kid, if you got a birthday card, what the hell were you doing? You weren't looking to see what the message was. It was, what the fuck's inside of here?
Facts.
A voucher for Woolworth? That ain't gonna cut it. Sorry. So again, thank you all. Thanks to Michael, Robert, for the podcast, the Insert Revolution podcast. Us three. This would be the triad, the trio, the triumvirate, the tripod. The Insert Revolution podcast. Remember, you saw this here first. First. Steve. Rennie. I'm Dave. 3. Remember, collecting cards is absolutely one of the most fun things in the world. The setup, how you show those cards, that's what really matters. And friendships, of course, the relationships that you forge. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.